Hey guys, what's going on? Ordinary here, bringing you episode 3 of our GM mode in Columbus. I know what you're probably thinking, oh, it's been so long since you put up a video, oh, what's going on? What happened was I already did episode 3, and the capture was right fucked. Kept glitching out, there's like a big black box across half of it, kept flashing back, zooming forward, zooming back, it was terrible. So, luckily, I've been saving on different files, so I'm not overwriting the last save because of what happened with our finale during the Philly one, where I just lost everything because Xbox decided to shit out on me. So we are able to redo episode 3. I was thinking I might have to just skip it and start where episode 4 would have started. But we don't have to do that, and that's probably a good thing because we had an absolutely garbage record. We fell deep. We went on some big losing streaks in my last episode that I recorded that glitched out like that. So, maybe this is a blessing in disguise. We were real close to the bottom of the league, so it's hopefully this is another shot for us. Last episode 2, what we did was we made that big trade for Berglund and Laterra. If I show you guys, if I can find out where the stats are, here they are. Look at our leading point scorer, the big trade acquisition on that second line, and then if you look slightly down further once I sort by points, Laterra, 3rd place. So, it looks like it was a good trade. In my last episode, the glitchy one, Berglund seems to lead the team. Berglund and Dubinsky seem to lead the team throughout the whole year, so if that stays the case, that was a pretty good trade. One thing that did happen was our third line became the biggest liability. We're talking double-digit minus, minus 19. Atkinson in particular, and Jenner even more, which is surprising because he looks like the perfect fit to be on a third line, but they were just getting absolutely pumped. Carlson was playing well. The second line was playing well. First line was kind of shaky. And then our third pairing was a little bit dirt as well. The other thing I ended up doing was switching Jones with Savard so that Murray and Jones could play together because that's what I want in the future. So I'm going to swap that right off the bat, and hopefully we get a better run of things here on our second go of it. So let's hit up the calendar. We are, what are we, 16 games in, so we'll do a quick 4-game simulation. Last time I did 14 and it was way too much and it fucked us. So I'm trying to be cautious here. Because that Pittsburgh game is a huge... Oh my god, that's a dope win. I'm not even upset that we lost the next two. Because that's a big divisional game for us right now. Foligno's out. We're going to... Ooh, he's out for a month. Broke his elbow. That sucks. Okay, we're editing the lines manually. Because... How do you... Okay. Back to edit lines. How do you do best lines these days? I thought it was start. It's not. Y for options. Best lines. There we go. I love when they just change everything around. Putting Atkinson up there might be the best move. And then what's that mean? We got Jared Bowl. We'll go like this. Put old Davy Clark butt right there, and we'll go like this. So we got left wing, center, right wing, right wing, right wing, right wing. Alright, that's what we're going to do. Defense, I'm going to have to swap those two boys again. Alright, perfect. Let's see this last 4th game here. Ooh, it's going to be tough for us to win games without our first line right winger there. Not going to lie. 5 games takes us to here. Get 25 games in. See, this is what I'm talking about. 5 losses in a row. What the fuck? Best lines. Okay, we're gonna finish this. If it keeps going, I'm gonna try to make some trades here before the whole season goes to shit. Because last time I let the whole thing go to shit, and it would appear to be happening again, as we have won 2 games and lost 7. So we'll play one more because I wanted this to be our 10th, right? Yeah. So we 2-8 in our simulation that we did, and Jack Johnson got hurt. So yeah, there's definitely, if we want to have any chance at this season, we're going to be doing some trades here right quick. Best lines. This was swapped. If we go, yeah, okay. I hate pressing the button more than once. Like, biggest piss off of all time. Savard and Jones, and it makes Prout go up. Ooh, I don't like that. We don't have defensive depth by any means. Ooh, it's got to stay like this though. This is our best. Yep. All right. 11-14-1. What were we? 9-6-1. Yeah, we were 9-6-1. So we went 2-8. Garbage. Literal garbage. We have dropped into the worst spot in the division again. This is fucking deja vu. So, trade and improve. Actually, let's check the stats first to see who's really dumping out the bed. Because if you're not producing, we don't have room for you. We've got a decent team. Maybe not the best team, but definitely not the worst team in the division. So, we're going to take a look. Berglund leading. See, Berglund and Dubinsky seem to be the guys. Laterra's only gotten like 3 points in that last handful of games. What did we do, 10 games? Not good. Savard, minus 16. Minus 16. Jenner again. See, Jenner's big time minus. Murray, I don't know what that is. Is that from when they were both playing with Johnson? Did that bring them down? Playing with Johnson? There's the third line. Atkinson, Wenberg, Jenner. Like I said, fucking liability. So let's take a look at some trade value that we got, because I don't want this season to just be a huge write-off. I mean, if you look at it now, what are we away from the playoffs? 4 points? We're 4 points away from the playoffs, so we still have a chance to kind of bring it back. If we let this get out of hand anymore, definitely don't. So I just kind of want to explore some options. These guys, like, no trade value while they're hurt. Bittner, Milano, Jenner, Saad. Like, all our value comes from left wingers, and we already shipped one out. So we probably don't really want to get rid of another one. Bittner maybe being the one that we can lose, since he is the furthest away. Like, the thing is, Jenner, what is he, 2A power? 2A forward, 22 years old. Saad, 2A forward, 23 years old. We got 86, we got 85. Milano, not quite ready to jump up, but he's 2A forward as well, 19. At least in the 70s. And then Bittner is 69, and he's a power forward. But, like, what I mean is he's got the most value of anyone we can get rid of. I'm surprised Wenberg doesn't have more trade value, because he's young. What is he, 22 or 21? 21. He's 21, already low 80s, and he's a playmaker. So, like, I want to hold on to him because I think he might turn into our second line center when Dubinsky and Laterra are done. But at the same time, he's playing so bad, like, big time. In net, I don't think goaltending's our problem. Bobrovsky should be able to hold down the fort for a while. He's got the value that would make you think he could. He's only got a .9 save percentage, so not great. I imagine it'd be better than fucking McElhenney's. Yeah, he's an 8.7, 8.69. It's like a 4 goals against average. So that third line needs to be addressed. I wouldn't mind getting some defensive men in for some depth. a two-way defenseman. So, like, if we throw Bittner on, it sucks to unload prospects, but every prospect we have seems to be a fucking left winger. And, I hate when it... So, Arizona does want him. What do we have for defensive depth and maybe a new third liner here? Wow, you guys are slim picking here in the defensive category in Arizona. That's a drop-off and a half. Not really interested. Boston, do you want our guy? They don't. Buffalo does, I bet. We could get Ristolainen. We could get Bogosian. McCabe's got some trade value to him. Ristolainen is like a safe bet because of his low potential for some reason. He's going to be a beauty in real life. Like, if you're watching this video and it's like 2020, for some reason you're watching my 2016 GM mode, you know that Ristolainen is a fucking beast. Now, it's not a bad idea. What do they got? Because I know they want Bittner because they're rebuilding. For forwards, what do we got for third line depth here? Someone around... Ooh, wow. Ennis. Ennis, another guy that they're undervaluing. But he's more of a second line guy. Yeah, second line forward. You don't want to put a sniper on the third line, really. McGinn, Larson... Larson, maybe. Johan Larson, two-way forward, 23. But then again, we're getting another left winger, which is not what we want. And then that basically uses it all up, right? Their depth seems to be on the fucking left wing, too. So, Ennis, like I said, throw him on the right wing, but we don't need a second liner. We need more of a depth guy. Playing someone out of their position doesn't really help. Jamie McGinn, easy enough. We could throw him in there, but is it really the value that we want? Carolina would want Bittner as well. So we'll take a look at their defense. Who do they got? Wisniewski would be the guy. He's a little bit outside of where we want to be attacking. 31 years old. Calgary would also want Bittner. They have some good players on D, but none of them that have low enough value. Like Brody and Hamilton, grabbing one of them would be killer for us, but I just don't see it happen. And they don't want Bittner, apparently, which is bullshit. I doubt Chicago would want Bittner, and they don't really have anyone. Colorado should. Boschman, too old. Gormley, not good enough. Nothing really there. I like Ristolainen. That would, like, be a good player to pick up. No one really in Dallas, and I doubt they want our guy. Detroit, probably the same type of deal. DeKaiser. Ooh, DeKaiser, he's close to topping out, though, because he's 25. But he's 85 overall. Would be a good depth guy. He's 2A, isn't he? Yeah. Top 4. Not a lot of value. Do they want... No, they don't want Bittner, so maybe... It's a guy to keep in our mind. Edmonton should want him, considering they're not good. Schultz, who everyone's shitting on this year, has not been having a good year. Offensive defenseman, 25 years old. Trade value not that high. Clefbaum, similar player, although he is 22 years old with the low potential. So there's a player that wouldn't mind grabbing. Clefbaum would be huge. 83 overall, so not really up as high as we're looking. But we'll throw him in. He's got 8 years on this 4.6 contract, so that looking like it could be a good deal in the future. Good signing there in Edmonton. As far as forwards go, do they have anyone that would really help us right now? Cassian, maybe. The Nuge, for some reason, has not low, but lower trade value for someone with elite potential. For some reason, Taylor Hall's got more value than McDavid. So I'm looking at the Nuge. I'm looking at Cassian. They don't want to give either of them up. But if we could put them both in a package deal, because Nuge should be, he's a set as playmaker, that's wrong. Cassian should be power forward? Yeah, okay, so if we put Nuge and Cassian both in, we're looking at a lot of contract coming back our way, not really unloading anything. If we throw in Wenberg, we're getting the Nuge back to replace him. We have more trade value going that way than we have coming, than we have coming back. The last remaining issue would be a salary dump. Unfortunately, we don't really have anyone we can afford to dump. We have Clarkson, who, I mean, yeah, we can afford to dump him kind of, but he's playing a role on our team right now. Is Calvert even dressed? He's not, yeah, so Clarkson could go, technically. However, they're not going to want to do that. Even throwing Clarkson on there, it throws us over the cap, eh? Because I guess we are bringing, 11 million back. Christ. This is going to be a hard trade. This looks like it'll go through. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to set up a good trade, and I'll come back to you when I have it, how I think it should work. Okay, guys, we're back. What I'm looking at, it looks like it could go through. We have lit the whole thing up with greens. What I added was one of our prospect D. He's 70 overall at 22 years old, is that right? Yes. So, he's got 4 years. He's going to have to jump like 4 points a year in order to make a difference on our team, right? So, I'm okay with sending him out that way. Worst case scenario, he's like an 83 overall by the time he's done growing, and I don't even think he'll get that high, so making the executive decision there. He's got a decent chunk of trade value to him. Let me show you. Jesus. I remember you used to be able to click on people, and then it would, like, bring you to them when you were looking for trade, but anyways, that's where his value is, so it's decent. Let's see if this goes through. It did not. They still don't want to take the contract of Clarkson. So 1 million's not going to be enough holding on to this. Even though they're going to get so much salary off their books from this trade, it's a little bit bizarre. Another thing I'll have to do is maybe go exit out and come back, just because I notice when you play around with holding the salary, it fucks with it and it doesn't reverse properly. Like, it's a big mess when you try to hold on to salary. The game kind of glitches out. So this is about as much as I'd hold on to, is 1.5 mil. I'll propose the trade. They're still not interested in this deal, with the 1.5 being held, which sucks because Clarkson's basically impossible to trade. What I might do is dump him off to a team, just dump him. Like, don't get anyone back type of dump. And then we won't even have to throw salary the other way, because we won't be up against the cap when we take these two big contracts, right? So that's what I'm going to go do, because Clarkson himself has no trade values. It's not like he's adding to this trade at all, really. He's just there for salary means. I wish his name wasn't green, because when you propose the trade, it specifically says we don't want Clarkson, so why is his name green? But anyways, that's another story. I'm going to flash back to this when I have a trade ready to dump Clarkson. Okay, so we're here in Pittsburgh. They can absorb the entire contract for David Clarkson. They don't have a 7th, so I'm trying to grab their 6th. Even if you look at the trade value blue at the very bottom of that list, they're offering more with their 6th than what Clarkson's worth. So it's a red and a green, so hopefully it goes through, but I'm not holding my breath. Proposed trade. Rejected. We're not even in the right city with value, so come back when I find something else. So Pittsburgh is the only team that has room for their contracts. Like, they don't have the 45 skaters and the salary cap room. So if we're going to make this happen, it's going to be in Pittsburgh. So we'll give this a go. I went down to next year's draft, 7th round pick. Rejected. So they don't see the still not enough value. So we might have to give them our 7th and like you a flip-flop, which is fine, because then they're getting the value back, right? Will this work? Apparently we don't match their trade block. That's fucked. So in order to offload the bad contract, what if we throw... Oh, I shouldn't have overwritten it. I should have just... a 2nd, 7th in there. Proposed trade. Rejected. So they want something else in the green, do they? I don't want to give them our 3rd, which is their only other thing in the green. Goalies matching block, nothing. Skaters matching block. You know, David Clarkson, who's in the trade game. Hello. This dude. We'll throw this dude in there. He's not getting any better, and he's like not even 70 overall, so... maybe we can save this pick. Just flop these. Proposed trade. This, like... Rejected. Oh. Oh, come on! More than one guy to fill the same need, I guess. They don't want another grinder, or... They don't want anything that we're offering. Like, fuck me. Okay, I'll come back again when I feel like I have it set. Okay, we're back. So what I did was I put our 3rd in because it was green, and their 3rd is red for some reason. So, like, they want other teams' 3rds, but they don't want their own. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but hey, it's a video game. So we took off the other buddy, because apparently him and Clarkson fill the same role, you know, even though they wouldn't even play in the same league. But we'll see if this goes through. Hopefully it does. Rejected. The value's not there, apparently. Great. So that makes sense. Apparently, the exact same picks for different years plus a player isn't more value. Yikes. Okay. Let me cut out again. Okay, so we threw in our 6th and our 7th for this year. Proposed trade. Rejected. The value, I have no idea how that works. If you look at these 2 blue bars, the 2 bars at the bottom, it is not even close. We are doubling theirs. So what that tells me is I need to put something into the trade that has a good chunk of value. I'm not sure what that's going to be, but let me cut back again when I find it. Okay, so I've thrown in a playmaking center. He's like kind of like a prospect, but not really. He's 23, and he's only 72 overall. So it's similar to that defenseman we wanted to trade in that Edmonton trade. Hopefully, throwing in that will get this going. Let's see if it works. It does not, because they'd have to put a player on waivers. So Pittsburgh apparently being a huge pain in the ass right now. Do they want to give any players away? They do have a few to give away. So it would have to be one. They don't have any NHLers to give away, though, because that's what we need to take back in order to get this to work, because they don't want to throw anyone on waivers. So all skaters, trade value, sort it this way. Go to the first NHLer we see. It is Erickson. We add him to the trade. It is approved. We propose the trade. It's rejected. We've failed to meet their value expectation and trade block needs. These guys are a bunch of dicks. I hate them. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can't find a different team to make this work, because Pittsburgh's just being a bunch of fucking dick suckers. Hey guys, so this episode kind of got out of hand, got away from me. It ended up over an hour long before I did any of my cutouts. It was about 50 minutes afterwards. But what that means is I'm going to cut this one off here. Pittsburgh ended up not working out for us. So it's a good place for me to end the episode here and take the second half of it and make a separate upload out of it. I'm going to upload that one right after I'm done uploading this one. So stay tuned for that one, and I'll see you there. Peace.